The wrestling world just exploded with one of the most shocking moments in recent memory as Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins finally revealed the identity of their mystery partner following a vicious assault on Paul Heyman that left the entire WWE universe in absolute disbelief. What started as whispers and speculation has now become the reality that nobody saw coming, and the implications of this revelation are going to shake the foundation of professional wrestling for months to come. Before we dive deep into this absolutely insane situation, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now because you're not going to want to miss a single update on this developing story. The night started like any other episode with tensions already running high between multiple factions vying for control and dominance. Roman Reigns has been at the center of WWE programming for years now, establishing himself as the undisputed tribal chief and carrying the company on his shoulders through championship reign after championship reign. His alliance with Paul Heyman has been one of the most successful partnerships in modern wrestling history, with the special counsel serving as the mouthpiece and strategist behind Reigns' iron grip on power. Seth Rollins, on the other hand, has been on his own journey of redemption and reinvention, constantly evolving his character and proving why he remains one of the most talented performers on the entire roster. The idea that these two former Shield brothers would reunite seemed almost impossible given their complicated history and the bad blood that has existed between them for so long. The attack on Paul Heyman was brutal and calculated in a way that sent chills down the spines of everyone watching. Heyman was making his way to the ring to address the WWE Universe about upcoming plans and potential challengers when the lights suddenly cut out completely. The arena fell into darkness and confusion as fans tried to understand what was happening. When the lights came back on, Heyman was surrounded by figures in black hoodies who wasted no time launching a vicious assault that left the veteran manager crumpled on the mat. The beating was relentless with chair shots and coordinated strikes that showed this was not a random attack but rather a carefully orchestrated plan that had been in the works for quite some time. Security rushed to the scene but they were too late to prevent the damage that had already been done. As medical personnel attended to Heyman and the chaos continued to unfold in and around the ring, the attackers finally removed their hoods to reveal Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins standing side by side with smirks on their faces that told the entire story. The crowd erupted in a mixture of shock and excitement as they tried to process what they were witnessing. These two legends who had been at odds for so long were now united with a common purpose that clearly involved dismantling the power structure that had been in place. But the biggest shock was still to come because as Reigns and Rollins stood in the ring soaking in the reaction from the audience, they motioned toward the entrance ramp and the mystery third member of their alliance finally stepped into view. The identity of this mystery partner has been the subject of countless debates and discussions across social media platforms and wrestling forums for weeks leading up to this moment. Fans had been speculating about every possible name from returning legends to rising stars who could fill this crucial role. Some thought it might be a former champion looking to reclaim past glory while others believed it could be someone from outside WWE making a surprise debut that would change everything. The anticipation had been building to a fever pitch and now the moment of truth had finally arrived as this individual walked down the ramp with purpose and confidence. When the mystery partner entered the ring and stood between Reigns and Rollins, the three of them raised their fists in unison creating an image that will undoubtedly become iconic in wrestling history. This was not just a random alliance formed out of convenience but rather a calculated union of three individuals who share a common goal and are willing to do whatever it takes to achieve it. The chemistry between them was immediately apparent as they moved in sync and communicated without words in a way that only comes from deep understanding and mutual respect. This new faction represents a serious threat to everyone on the roster regardless of championship status or position within the company hierarchy. The aftermath of the attack saw Paul Heyman being stretchered out of the arena as concerned officials and medical staff surrounded him checking for injuries and trying to assess the full extent of the damage. Heyman has been a constant presence in WWE for decades and seeing him in such a vulnerable position was jarring for fans who have grown accustomed to his silver tongue and ability to talk his way out of any situation. This attack was clearly designed to send a message that nobody is safe and that this new alliance is willing to cross any line to establish their dominance. The special counsel had been instrumental in guiding Roman Reigns to the top of the mountain but now he finds himself cast aside and brutalized by the very person he helped create. The motivations behind this shocking turn of events are complex and layered with history that goes back years. Roman Reigns has always been about legacy and cementing his place as the greatest of all time. Seth Rollins has spent his career proving that he belongs in the conversation as one of the best to ever step foot in a wrestling ring. The mystery partner brings their own unique skills and perspective to this alliance, creating a trifecta of talent that is truly formidable. Together they represent different eras and styles of wrestling coming together with a unified vision that could reshape the entire landscape of sports entertainment as we know it. The reaction from other superstars has been swift and varied, with many expressing shock and disbelief at what transpired. Some have voiced concern about what this means for the locker room and the balance of power that exists within WWE. Others have issued warnings that they will not stand idly by while this new faction runs roughshod over everyone in their path. Championship holders are suddenly looking over their shoulders wondering if they might be the next target of this group's aggression. Tag teams are reconsidering their strategies and alliances knowing that the game has fundamentally changed. The entire roster is now on high alert trying to figure out how to respond to this new threat that seemingly appeared out of nowhere. Social media exploded immediately following the revelation, with fans sharing their reactions and trying to make sense of everything they had just witnessed. Trending topics dominated timelines as people debated the implications and what this means for upcoming storylines and potential matches. Wrestling analysts and insiders scrambled to provide context and break down the significance of this moment in wrestling history. Video clips of the attack and the reveal spread rapidly across platforms, reaching audiences far beyond the traditional wrestling fan base. This was the kind of water cooler moment that transcends the sport itself and becomes part of the broader cultural conversation. The storytelling possibilities that emerge from this new alliance are virtually endless, and that's what makes this development so exciting for fans who have been following these characters for years. The history between Reigns and Rollins alone provides enough material for months of compelling television. Adding the mystery partner into the mix creates even more layers and potential directions for the narrative to explore. There are old scores to settle, new challenges to face, and countless obstacles that will stand in their way as they pursue their ultimate goals. The journey ahead promises to be filled with twists and turns that will keep audiences on the edge of their seats week after week. Paul Heyman's condition and his future role in WWE programming remains uncertain following the brutal assault he endured. The iconic manager has survived many attacks and betrayals over his long career, but this one felt different in its intensity and personal nature. Whether Heyman will seek revenge, align with new allies, or take time away to recover remains to be seen. His next move could have significant ramifications for everyone involved and add yet another dimension to this already complex situation. The special counsel has always been a master manipulator and strategist, so counting him out would be a mistake that many have made before only to regret it later. The mystery partner's addition to this alliance brings specific skills and attributes that complement what Reigns and Rollins already bring to the table. This individual has their own history within WWE and connections to various other superstars that could come into play as this story continues to develop. The dynamic between all three members will be fascinating to watch as they navigate the challenges ahead and work to maintain their unity in the face of adversity. Power struggles within factions are common in wrestling, and it will be interesting to see if this group can avoid the pitfalls that have destroyed similar alliances in the past. Championship implications are obvious and immediate as this new faction sets its sights on gold and glory. Multiple titles could be targeted simultaneously given the talent and ambition of the individuals involved. The champions currently holding those belts are suddenly facing threats from multiple directions as this alliance positions itself to strike when opportunities present themselves. The hierarchy of WWE is being challenged in real time, and the power dynamics that seemed stable just days ago now feel uncertain and vulnerable to disruption. Every title match and every rivalry is now viewed through the lens of how this new faction might impact the outcome or insert themselves into the situation. The production value and execution of the entire segment, from the initial attack through the final reveal, was handled masterfully by everyone involved. The lighting, camera angles, and timing all contributed to creating an atmosphere of genuine surprise and excitement. The performers delivered in their roles with intensity and commitment that made everything feel authentic and important. This is the kind of moment that reminds people why they fell in love with professional wrestling in the first place and why they continue to invest their time and emotional energy into following these stories and characters. Looking ahead to the coming weeks and months, the question on everyone's mind is what comes next for this powerful new alliance and how the rest of the roster will respond. Battle lines are being drawn and sides are being chosen as the entire WWE universe prepares for the conflicts that are sure to follow. The unpredictability of the situation is part of what makes it so compelling, because truly anything could happen at this point. Traditional rivalries might be set aside temporarily as new ones emerge in response to this threat. Unexpected alliances could form among former enemies who now find themselves with a common adversary. The chess pieces are in motion, and every move will have consequences that ripple throughout the entire organization. This moment will be remembered as a turning point in WWE history, when three incredible talents came together to create something that has the potential to be truly special. The combination of star power, storytelling ability, and in-ring excellence that this alliance possesses is rare and valuable. How they use that power and what they accomplish together will determine their ultimate legacy and place in the pantheon of great wrestling factions. The bar has been set extremely high and expectations are massive, but based on the track records of everyone involved, there is every reason to believe they will deliver something extraordinary. If you've made it this far, then you already know how important it is to stay updated on every twist and turn of this incredible story, so do yourself a favor and subscribe to this channel right now so you never miss another crucial update or breaking news from the world of professional wrestling.